This video will cover the procedure for the Kool-Aid dilution lab. This is part 2 of the Kool-Aid lab on your checklist. First, we'll start with the calculation that you are going to have to do. This one is not one of the solutions that you'll create, so yours will be a little bit different, but it says from the 12 molar stock solution, you will have 12 molar in your lab. Create 50 mils of 1.25 molar solution. So we have to go to our dilution formula, M1 V1 equals M2 V2. So it's from the 12 molar stock solution, we have M1, create 50 mils of 1.25 molar. So we have V2 and M2, so we're going to solve for V1, which is M2 V2 divided by M1. So if I plug in the numbers I have, it's 1.25 molar, that's capital M, times 50 milliliters, and all of that is divided by 12. So my V1 equals 5.208, which I can round up to 5.21 milliliters. So we're going to use this amount, 5.21 milliliters, later in the procedure. Okay, here are the materials you'll need for the dilutions lab. Your 12 molar stock solution, 50 milliliter volumetric flask, graduated cylinder, parafilm because we don't have stoppers. I think we're down to 0 now. And you can use a disposable pipette if that helps you to get a more accurate volume. So the first thing you're going to do here is measure out 5.21 milliliters of stock solution, and this is what we calculated on the other side. So this is where you can use that disposable pipette if you want to get a more accurate volume here. So you do have to do a little bit of estimating because the 10 milliliter graduated cylinders measure up to 5.20. So you just kind of have to estimate that 0.01. Once you have measured the correct volume of stock solution, you're going to go ahead and pour that into your 50 milliliter volumetric flask. You want to make sure you get as much of the stock solution into the volumetric flask as possible. Then you're going to start filling your volumetric flask with deionized water. Remember to use the water in the blue bottles. Let me know if you need a refill. Again, you're going to kind of slow down once you get to this part right here, because when you start filling the neck, you probably realize in the molarity lab that it starts filling up really fast once you pass that point, and you don't want to overshoot it because then you have to start over again. So you want to make sure you go really slow when you get to this neck part here so that the bottom of your meniscus ends up right on the fill line. Like I said, I think we're out of stoppers. The one we had went missing today, so we're all going to have to use our parafilm to cap off and seal our volumetric flask. So you want to stretch that out and get it as tight around the mouth of the volumetric flask as possible. Then you can put your thumb over the parafilm over the mouth of the flask and turn the flask upside down and then right side up to make sure you get that mixed really well. Okay, just like in part 1, you're going to take some of your solution and put it in a test tube and then bring that up to get your color compared to the color key up in the front of the room. And your very last step to make sure you get credit for the lab is to clean your station. So anything that is not disposable that you use needs to go back up to the materials table. So basically in this lab, the disposables are the disposable pipette, if you use one, that's optional, and the parafilm that you use can go in the trash after. Everything else needs to be rinsed out and returned to the materials table, and then you're done.